goes out to fight against the winner of MMA versus Dragon. We already have Spreezy making it to the semifinals, where he waits for the winner of Ryung versus Alicia. Spawning here, though, in the top left corner of the map, it's going to be the red Zerg player, Axiom's Impact.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, it's Miso.
So again, I don't know that this is for sure the case, but for anyone who missed the little announcement before the intro, allegedly there was a thing where I guess Impact in the Legacy of the Void alpha mod, the one Jack Tack made for custom mode, prior to the actual official beta release, I guess the corruptor ability could target units, not just buildings. So if that was the case, his actions made a little more sense.
Yeah, it actually does sound familiar. I don't know when we cast any like fan mods or anything, but
I don't remember, to be honest. And I remember watching most of Total Biscuit's tournament too, and I don't remember that particular incident. But either way, I mean, I would believe it because a lot of things were changed. You know, Banshees initially at BlizzCon, they came built with Cloak automatically. You know, a lot of changes went down to a lot of units, a lot of abilities, and new things were introduced for the actual official beta release. So it's not at all crazy to think that, okay, someone got a little caught off guard. Now, Misa's building the wall a little bit funny, but this is actually a good way to make sure tanks can still get out of your base while walling off.
Oh. So on some of the new maps, including the ones that are in Heart of the Swarm, if you wall off like you usually do, then your tanks can't get out if you put a reactor like you usually do as well.
Yeah,
so.
Same goes for Protoss. Disruptors get stuck quite frequently in your pylons. Zerg are lucky and don't have to wall off, so they don't care. Like, I got ultras, whatever.
It's quite annoying. I mean, it's just I don't know why they mess with it. They're not messing with it again to revert it back.
I know it kills me, and I'm gonna bring this up on every cast because luckily, you know, we don't work for anybody. We have to worry about offending with this. But I really hate that they had these really great maps made by the map makers, Cactus Valley, Coda, etc. And then Blizzard, for whatever reason, felt that desire to tweak with them, and they very literally ruined the maps. And I don't mean like small things, like, oh, you misplaced one mineral patch like there was on this map, and I think Cactus Valley or something like that, but to the point where you can't get units out of the base because of whatever reason. That makes no sense.
There's, you know, that and the mini-map thing, just like, you know, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting more used to the mini-map. But I think it's silly that you should have to have this fan base of thousands of people get used to something. Like, why change that? Like, there's so many arguments against it and only one for it.
When Miso 2-Rax, I didn't even notice he had like a base, man. Like, his color just blended into Echo and Overlux. Like, I was like, oh.
If I didn't see the SCV leave while we were introducing him, I probably wouldn't have gotten it either.
My god. Alright, well, whatever. Anyways, complaints aside, we did have MMA over Dragon. And Ryung over Alicia. So I don't know who Spreezy is, but I imagine he's gonna lose. I mean, he beat Ian.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know who Spreezy is either, but well, I did get a couple easy wins. Or no, I guess none of them were easy wins. It's the other guy got the walkovers. So Spreezy has absolutely earned his place in that semifinals, and we'll see where he goes. We again will be trying to cast both semifinal matches, guys. So I don't know if we'll be doing Ryung and Spreezy next, or if we'll do the winner of this game versus MMA, but we will be trying to cast both of them.
Well, we have a Banshee opener for Miso. It's a very nice opener against Roach openers as well.
Yeah, the catch-allness of it still exists even here in Legacy of the Void.
Yep.
That Banshee speed upgrade is crazy cool, but with it being on Fusion Core tech, I don't know many games that's ever going to come into effect.
Maybe a very late game TVT where you have enough bases, have enough money to go ahead and get it. But those are becoming rare.
Well, do you think it'd be worth moving it down to like maybe on Armory Tech, same way Hellbats used to be with the research? I mean, Fusion Core is so kind of crazy to have to go that deep for that.
How much does it cost?
I think it's 150. I don't know off the top of my head, to be completely honest with you, but I think it's 150.
I don't know. It might be. Just thinking of like Hellbat Banshee speed pushes.
That's true. That would be incredibly gross and abusive if you can time that out, I guess. Oh, depots are down though, so these Lings can get by. Banshee's still at home though. Lucky on their production timing. SCVs are still gonna die, but this won't be so bad. Miso's actually gonna fully pull back home. I don't know if that's necessary.
I think bringing back the Hellions were another second on those SCVs attacking the Lings, and about 6 of them would have just died. I mean, they were getting wrecked. So does fix that one problem. 5 went down, and he's just simply low on SCVs because of the opener, I suppose. The third CC just only now finishing up. But Impact going into Roaches officially, you know, upgrading them with 1/1 in speed.
Oh god, but here's that Hellbat attack. We got a couple of Banshees with this, and the Queen's not exactly numerous, but there's a Spore Crawler and a possible Overseer. So it is a matter of dealing with those Banshees. I think everyone just kind of assumes the Hellbat's getting cleaned up at some point, especially with Roaches in play, but you know, the Marines are that little bit of extra damage. Oh god. All that drone karma here in last game completely paid back in full this game.
Yeah, 3 of them somehow survive. I don't know how, but they take down the Spore Crawler. Where is their detection?
The Overseer, I thought, it's over here. It's just chilling.
Uh-oh. Well, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Queen's going to try and kite back. Not a lot of transfuses available. In fact, only just barely available as that first one dies. This is quite troublesome.
The one that transfuse energy is the one that's looking to die, but another Queen joins up from the natural, I believe, and now there's 3 against 2 Banshees and Overseer right on him, trying to transfuse the Hatchery, so it survives with no luck.
Now he might lose the Queen on top of it as well. Not sure if those Banshees will stick around. I mean, there's a couple of really free pickings, as we can see, these Queens. Oh my god, that girl's got about 5 health left on her.
She got the last hit on one of the Banshees too, so I guess they wanted revenge, but wasn't able to get it. I mean, it was a messy hold. He lost their third, and he misplaced it, so it's another 75 minerals.
Top 18 workers dead too, so.
Yeah, I mean, that was certainly a really good blow from Miso to really start off the game really strong, but Impact could definitely bring it back. He is investing in a burrow, something that I think was missing last game, so we can use these Roaches. I mean, it's a hard map to defend 2 places. I mean, that's what happened with Miso last time we saw him.
Well, revenge was had a little bit later than expected, but got revenge nonetheless. Queen is going to die once again, and Impact has gone for a counterattack with the Roaches while this goes on. But there's 2 tanks up, there's Banshee, these Roaches will not get a lot done. Even if Tunneling Claws was available, the wall is up. And he's just got that's full-on mech behind us too.
Well, I mean, mech not bad, but it is going to be slow, I guess. There's a wide open area in the middle of Iron Fortress as well that can be a little difficult to run into.
Yeah, you can see that. SCV's getting pulled every which way for that transfer. A little bit awkward, but you know, there's 3 Banshees at home. It's going to be really difficult for him to get these Roaches out alive. So just trying to maximize his damage.
Doesn't want to reveal burrow, I guess.
I guess maybe he's afraid missile turrets will come down like crazy if he does. He definitely could have gotten on top of the tanks if he had used his burrow. Perhaps he doesn't even realize it finished. It could be the case entirely, but Infestation Pit on the way. Hydralis on the way. 2-2 finishing up here in about halfway. I am curious which direction he plans to take this. I mean, you could still feasibly use Roach Hydra, but I'm thinking again to the Lurkers. So good at stopping run-bys, so good at annihilating Hellions. And with that range upgrade, they can actually match the Cyclone 9 range for 9.
No Cyclones made yet for Miso. It's kind of surprising, as we're doing really well against everything else so far.
Impact,
a block with that Queen. She has so much energy. Oh no.
Well, the Roaches came out just in the nick of time. I mean, this was the question of when were those 15 Roaches popping, right? Pulls the drones once again. Hellions are not dying fast enough, though. He's got to kill one more. There we go.
Oh, wait, that was really close. That was too close.
For those who aren't Terran and you're having heart attacks, don't worry. Once you get those Hellions down to 2, it's actually not so scary, because it's 3 that one-shot the drones. So,
yeah.
Not so bad for Impact. He very quickly focus fired down the correct amount. But Hive Tech, okay, Hive Tech coming out of this.
Yeah, I was thinking he's going to go into Roach Hydra Viper.
Good old-fashioned. I guess Vipers do have that cool extra ability now, the parasitic bombs, so with the Banshees that were floating around like they were, actually that would be a great unit to have. Just throw 1 or 2 of the parasitic bombs and all the Banshees are going to go down. Yeah.
But Impact is in a pretty bad position right now.
Is he trying to make a wall?
Just something to keep the... I mean, it looks funny, but it does its job. You know, not a perfect wall, but just something to keep the Roaches from gaining ground on the tank too quickly or too easily.
All those Roaches just became Ravagers.
I don't know about that. They die so easily to the tanks.
But I guess they could be so much better at dealing with Hellions, right? I mean, that attack speed is crazy. 20 damage every 0.57 seconds?
That's not a good reason to make a bunch of Ravagers, though, defending its Hellions.
Well, I mean, some I would definitely agree with. You're right. Like, this might be it's overkill, right? But I actually think having some is perfectly fine. Man, Ravagers look so cool from the front, but from the back they look so dumb. I just can't get over that. Like, that's look at the hell yeah, spikes, fire glowing in the center. No, yeah, we're badass. And then they turn around, it's like dooba dooba.
A lot of things for Zerg just have really stupid like behinds, basically. Like
literally behinds are stupid. Like dooba dooba dooba.
I mean, queens have like their
Kool-Aid
butts
Man,
pretty
like you
big,
said.
and stupid looking. The lurker has a butt that it just drags around.
I would have loved to see the lurker.
The ultra butt. That's pretty stupid too, actually.
Ultra butt's like swiggity swiggity boogity boogity. Targeting optics coming out. That's gonna give those cyclones a little bit of extra range to kite around the Ravagers, the Hydras. I actually am really curious to see because we don't know. It's a spell ability, right? So can he lock on through a blinding cloud? Is it that disgusting of an ability? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you could. It's just Terran got a lot of gross things for him.
Well, isn't their range like just longer than a blinding cloud in general? Like, does it break the lock on?
Right,
and if it doesn't, can you just get out of the blinding cloud and still be locked on?
I was actually more wondering, like, if you're in the blinding cloud, can you create a lock on?
But I have a secondary question.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We'll find out.
Yeah, apparently we might, depending on how the Vipers actually are used. But we finally have a 4th base up for impact. We've just been kind of low on economy its entire game, always down.
Oh no!
Finally getting to a good point and loses a ton of drones.
Yeah, he had the Ravagers split before, I guess consolidating, thinking there's only one heli run by at a time. I mean, okay, Miso's not exactly devastating impact. Normally you'd want to have way more drones for 4 bases, but you've actually already mined out your main. So having 60, 58 drones, it's actually a pretty good number, I'd say. Not amazing, but... Oh!
Wasn't that the Reaper icon back when they could get a nitro boost or whatever?
I'm pretty sure it was, but this is the Hyperflate Rotors, guys. It makes the Banshees move really fast. Like, Oracle fast. But this is, again, where I think Parasitic Bomb is going to be really important on the Vipers. For those who don't know, it's kind of like to cull an old reference, like Irradiate from the old Science Vessels, but what it basically does is it puts a damage over time ability on a unit that deals damage around it. Now, it only affects air units, and Colossus is the exception because they're tall enough to be air units, but if the unit with it dies while it's active, the entire duration runs into the spot that unit died. So it creates kind of this part of the field you just don't want to be. So if you drop like 2 Parasitic Bombs on 5 Banshees, chances are at least 3 of them die. I wish the tooltip showed up because I don't know how much damage it does, but it's a lot. It's a lot. We were using these to kill carriers in our own Archon matches.
Yeah.
Not so good for battle cruisers as it turns out, though.
Okay. We do have an Ultras Cavern on the way with 3-3 for the Roach and Hydras and starting up those melee upgrades. He's got a 3rd Evo Chamber, I think, just to wall off, and, well, I guess he's going to make use of it.
Ultras aren't bad, in my opinion. They're going to stomp over a lot of ground units. When there's this many tanks, though, it's going to be really difficult, to say the least, to use them. Where are those Vipers, by the way? He's got all the Hydras here, which is great. Look how fast those Banshees move with a speed upgrade, boys and girls. 2.68.
Yeah. I think it is as a transition, the Ultras are pretty good if you're able to take down a lot of those tanks, then you go into them. But the problem with Legacy of the Void is that you don't usually have a lot of bank, no matter what. I mean, even if you aren't really touched, as Miso hasn't really been touched the entire game, you still struggled to get up to 200. I guess there's been a lot of Hellion run-bys, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in Heart of the Storm, you get so many. I don't even know if he like knows the key for it.
Yeah. Click if you need to, man. I believe in you.
You get so much, bank. Impact's starting to right now as they're... But he's not maxed out, so that bank isn't really, a bank. It's just going to be used in a second here.
I think he's actually intentionally not maxing out, though, right? He's got the Spire coming out. He's got the transition. The melee upgrades might not have even been for the Ultras. He may have just had Broodlords in mind and got the Ultras Cavern just in cases.
Yeah, but either, whatever transition he's going to go into, it's just never going to be as effective without a humongous bank, Like, running into a Turtle Terran, as Miso is doing, I guess is a good enough map for it.
Well, you say Turtle as he moves out, but he's been playing Turtle style, yeah.
This is, be 21 minutes or something in Heart of the Swarm. I mean, that's still pretty late time to move out. And again, just really not a whole lot of bank behind us. But he does pass by the center, where most of the... wide coverage is going to be now. He's getting into those choke areas.
It's worth noting, by the way, the Ultralists popping are not going to have Chitinous Plating right away. Chitinous Plating does add a ton of extra armor now instead of the +3, it's +4, and he is maxed out on upgrades. So those Ultras will be able to take hits. Oh, but man, Parasitic Bomb would remove these Banshees from play. It sticks on him, guys. But I don't think Impact knows about it, and he's losing so much because of this one little bit of knowledge.
Yeah. And Impact expanded south as opposed to just taking the top side of the base or the map, so unfortunately we'll be losing 2 bases at a time, most likely. Blinding Cloud goes down. No
Despite that, though,
bombs.
there's so many tanks. Ravager Corrosive Bombs have got to be good. They're landing on a lot of the tanks, getting some good damage. He gets on top of the tanks. Ultra's kind of derping around the backside looking for a fight, but he will clear out those tanks. Problem is, there's still those Banshees to deal with. There's not a lot of anti-air. With the Vipers going down, he doesn't have, as you pointed out, Parasitic Bombs. Queen's going down. Hydra's going down. The Ultras aren't going to take much guff because they got so much armor, 8 armor in total. But that being said, they can get kited for the Cyclones for days.
I don't think we saw a Cyclone with Blinding Cloud, unfortunately. I was paying attention.
Oh, you know what? I don't know what happened with that base, but Impact lost half his drones. I think they were all at that base.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of them. And, I mean he's just lost the game basically. Miso is still on a great economy with a lot of bases that he can start spreading around as he did clear up at least one base of that was being creeped on. And I think GG.
Congratulations, Miso. He'll take the round of 8 and find himself going to the semifinals where he'll face